Hi, my name is Musa Ali, and this is my individual personal video for computer for cyber operations. And in this video, we'll be showing you um, hands-on video on how to detect and mitigate attacks using login, group policy, and also hardening of AD. On the right side of my screen here is Windows Server 22 that I have my domain configured on, and on the left side is a Windows 10 client machine that is already connected to domain that will be you trying to log in and use it to get some logs and also with some group policies and some hardening of AD. Also, so Active Directory, it's a service that Windows provide that basically manages computers, users, and also network resources and other um, privileges. And before I start, I want to stress on this that this video is for only educational purposes only, and it should not be used for any other purposes. All right, let's dive in. So this is the AD right here, and this is my domain, my lab, the local, and we have a lot of containers and also some organizational units here. So if you go to computers, you see target PC here, which is this Windows 10 machine client here. And also I have created the organizational unit just like, such as IT, which has a user, one user there, and also marketing, and a location, Minnesota, which has other sub-organizational unit that has computers and users. So first, to detect login, in order to by default, Active Directory is not Windows Server is not configured for that. And to do so, you click on Tools here, and we go to Group Policy Management, and under the domain here, you're going to right click on the default domain policy, and we're going to go to Group Policy Objects, and we're going to go to New, and we can name this login info. Um, you click on OK, and once that is created, you can go ahead and right click on the group policy that you just created, which is login info right here, and do edit. And we're going to go under policy here. We're going to go to Windows settings and navigate to security settings. And we can move this to the right here and go to advanced and audit policies. So here we can do so much. What we are focusing on here is the log on, log off. So we can double click on the login here. And once you check these, so this will basically detect like if any user tries to log in and it fails, or even with success, it will still give you the log on your, which will have it forward to our Active Directory. Um, so you go ahead and hit apply there, and okay. And also under, that's why there's a lot that you can do here with an account logout if that is not configured yet, but we will take a look at that later. And also with account logon, you want to do the audit credential validation. You can, yeah, you go ahead and check that and do the Kerberos authentication and Kerberos service ticket operations too. Yeah, I already have this already done, which is under. So when we go to under, um, so under the policies here, I already have those already configured. So, but basically, if you want to configure it, that's how you go ahead to do it. And once we go in and let's say on a Windows client machine and I try to log in with a bad password and hit enter and it says incorrect password, we can we can go to these on their AD on your Active Directory machine server. You can go to Event Viewer and it will give you analogs. It was going to show you security. It's going to show you, so if you scroll down here where it says 850, that is the audit failure. It will give you the event ID and also the user in this case, which is Teabag, Theodore Bagwell. Prison Break fans, you can relate to that. So, and also give you their domain ID that the audit failure, sorry, the logon failure occurred. So yeah, and this is a good way for you to, um, you know, with a bunch of users that you might manage in your company or your organization. You can it's an easy way to see anybody that have login failures and stuff like that. So if we get out of the this event viewer here, also we can set users. By default, users are not when they try the password like 1 second before we do that, let's log in here. So one thing I forgot to say that any changes that you make with group policy, you should always go to CMD. Sometimes it takes like 10 to 30 minutes, depending on the settings that you have in your group policy, to update that. But you can always go to in the command prompt and do GP update, and that will let's type GP update. All right, 1 second here. You can also click on the Windows and just type in GP update. I can't even spell GP update. There we go. So this will update the policy as quickly as possible. So if we go on this machine, if you log in into Theodore Bagwell, you can also do the same thing there. And the event viewer that we saw on our Active Directory, you can also see the same thing there. And another important thing in AD for users is also the setting a limit of how many times a user can try to log in. So let's say if a user tries to log in with a bad password, or if an attacker is get access to your machine and they try with brute force trying to password like 3 times or 4 times, you can set it for group policy for the account to automatically lock out and nobody can try to sign in again. And to do so, you go to tools, can also do group policy management and group policy management and 1 second. Okay, let's see here. Group policy management. Just a second here. I'll get there. So I'm gonna go to tools, go to group policy management, and in the domain sites, let's create edit, and go to policy here and under Windows settings. Let's go to security settings and let's move this here to the right. There's a ton of things that you can configure here. So under account policies, we can do the account. You can do there's a password policy where you can you get to choose the different how long the password is going to last. Is it going to be 3 months or a year? The password length and all those kind of cool stuff. And but what you're focusing here is on the account lockout policy. Um, what you need to do here is the account lockout threshold. So if you double click on that, we can set a number of times a user can try their password. So if you set it to 3 here, and we hit apply, and so this is how long it's going to take to get it enforced. We're just going to do OK, and we hit OK here. And let's do GP update to update the group policies. And once that is doing that, we go to our client machine that is also logged in with debug the user to also do the same thing there. Sometimes in the corporate world, you might have the user reboot their machine and sign in with their main password, and that will start it. But in this lab, we are just going to do the group policies. But and also, if you have access to the user's machine in a real world environment, you can also connect to it and run the GP update, and that will also do the same thing. So I'm going to sign the user out of here, and let's try to sign in with 3 different passwords and see what happens. So to lock it out. So here, just gonna do a password. That is 1. Try another 1. That is 2. Another 1. 3 and all right. So right now it says the reference account is currently locked out and may not be logged onto. So it's really advisable in a real world environment if you try if you forget your password and you try like 1 or 2 times and you can't get in, you better just reach out to your IT department to get it unlocked for you. And I'll show you in a few minutes. So yeah, so right now the account is locked out. So let's say you reach out to your IT team, and all that they need to do is to so in AD. Um, so to set, you have to click on the domain. Let's get out of here. Go back to into the Active Directory. Make sure you clicked on the domain. Let's do a quick refresh, and we can search for the user's name. So right now we notice that nothing. Even if we type in the right password, it's still locked out. So we're gonna search for that user here in AD. Just you can just type 3 letters. It'll bring up any user that is related to that, and we can go ahead and so here in this, when you right click on a user, you can reset their password, disable their account. But what we are going to do is to unlock the account for them so that they can sign back in. So we do unlock, hit apply, and let the user try again. And sometimes it takes a few minutes, but let's give it a shot here. And voila, it's logging in. So yeah, this is these are, I mean, it's a lot. Active Directory, there's a lot to do with group policy, and but these are a few things that you can do to manage login, to get access to all the logs that is going on happening, and also to enforce AD hardening. And in the group policy, another thing that I forgot to touch on is that whenever you create a policy, let's say here, whenever you create a policy, let's say if I created under the group policy objects here, you can always drag it. For instance, if this login info, if you want it to take effect for all everything that is under the domain, you can drag it and just place it under the main domain there. And once you do that, you can right click on it and hit enforce so that it will override anything that is below, because this is your global, and anything that is going to override any other policies that is below here under the organizational units and other containers. Um, so if you go here and check the event viewer one more time, you should see some logs here. So under Windows logs, um, open it, do security, and yeah, so we have audit success. That is, let's see if whatever the failure happened. So we have the failure here, which was T-bag, and with that code, and yeah, and with the event code here, you can always search online, and it will give you a good description about what that failure is. So yeah, basically this is a little bit that I can show you about Active Directory and some login and hardening of 80. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to catch you guys in the next one. See you all soon. Bye.